Episode 5 of Marvel's What If series imagines what would happen if a zombie apocalypse occurred. But before I get into my review of this episode, please consider this your spoiler warning because I will be talking spoilerish things. I enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed the kind of fantastical way that they did it. I think there's a comic book run that deals with this zombie thing. I think it was actually a pretty modern one when all the zombie craze was going around. And I think the comic book did it a lot better than the series did. Obviously, it's only half an hour, so they don't have a lot of time to get into explore that concept a little bit more. But for being a little, under 30 minutes, I think they did a great job. And having the virus that turns everybody into a zombie, the way they had that come in from the quantum realm was pretty neat that they did that. I enjoyed that aspect that in that event, obviously you don't know what you're bringing in, right? So they kind of grabbed a little bit of the reality, even with some of our astronauts when they go out into space, or when they went to the moon, they were afraid of bringing pathogens over or bringing some kind of, virus from outer space or something that could affect, mankind in a global way. And so I enjoyed that aspect of it, how they grabbed it a little bit from reality and the real life fears that we have, even from meteorites or comets that end up reaching the Earth's surface. What kind of viruses, what kind of diseases do they bring into our Earth from outer space? So that part of it was really enjoyable to see, that they didn't go too far off the realm as far as what could possibly happen. And like I said, I appreciate that from the writers. I thought the voice acting was better in this series, or in this episode, than other episodes. I wonder why Tom Holland didn't come back to do Spider-Man. Maybe he was in the middle of his own movie and couldn't get away from his shoot to come and do the voiceover for this episode. But who knows? I mean, you could definitely tell that it's not Tom. But I still enjoyed, for the most part, all the voice acting. I thought it was better voice acted. The animation, of course, I've said it every episode, and this is no different. It's very beautiful the way they animated this, and having those inner fights, especially Bucky having to not only see Sam get killed by Hope, and then he has to basically cut Cap in half to take his shield back. But wow, wasn't that satisfying, especially for a lot of fans that wanted to see Bucky in the live action Falcon and the Winter Soldier to take the mantle of Captain America. That must have been a satisfying moment in that. And I like the fact that they took aspects of, so many movies, but especially Civil War, and at the end a little bit of Infinity War, which left me with more questions than answers as to how that even happened, knowing that Thanos possessed 5 out of the 6 Infinity Stones. So how he even let himself get turned like that is kind of like, oh, what the hell, how did this happen? And I want to know that story. But yeah, could some other Avengers, whether Hulk survived is a big question that we don't have answered. Could Nick Fury have called Captain Marvel to come help out with this instant? Who knows where all of the stuff is. Obviously, again, it's only 30 minutes. They don't have enough time to dive into all of those or answer all those questions. But I hope they have a follow-up for this episode, because I really want to see where they take this to, because it was very good, very, very well written, very well executed, very just a good episode all the way around. I kept on just being intrigued and seeing, even in the beginning when we saw Tony Wog and Doctor Strange be zombies, and the way that we saw Spider-Man and the Cape kind of become one was pretty dope. We know there's a character of Spider-Man that actually had a cape, so to see that was a little bit of a treat for us that have followed the comics for a very long time. But I thought by far this was probably the best episode yet. And I know I've changed that 2 times before, but I think this one was just better than the last one, and it keeps on doing that. This would be my favorite. Last week's would be my second favorite, and I think after that would be episode 1. No, probably episode 3, then 1, and the last one would be episode 2. That's in probably the order that I would place it. But I completely enjoyed it. But anyways, those are just my thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. Let me know what you thought. What did you think about this episode? Did you enjoy it? Was it not to your liking? Did it surpass what you thought it was going to present? Put your thoughts down in the comments, and like always, that's a wrap.